Okay, here is a handy little tip for how to make a text link into a button using our built-in CSS classes. Okay, here I have a button in my WordPress editor. So let's take a look at the HTML code. We'll hit the text tab, and you'll see here the link A. It's an A link, an anchor link, but the class is button. And where that comes from is our foundation classes, our built-in classes. Here's an example of some of the things that are available. We can control size and we can control width with these words: tiny, small, large, or expanded. Okay, and here they've combined small with expanded. So if I add, for instance, button large, and let's see what I get here. I'll click visual. Now we see we've got nice big letters. Let's try tiny, which I guarantee will be literally illegible. But we'll just for the purposes of illustration. So we have these tiny little letters and a great big white button. So I don't recommend this delivery either. Also keep in mind that if you do if you do apply a link, oops, let's take expanded off as well. I did, by the way, place a CSS declaration in here, text align center, which is how this whole thing gets centered. That way I don't have to select it here and apply it here. I just personally prefer to use CSS. One other thing to keep in mind is this will work for any text link. So if I highlight that and Control K makes a link, so I'll just add a pound sign there just for illustration. So now California State is now linked. Okay, that's just kind of an inline text link. If I make that though into a button, it'll stay in line. So class equals open quote, close quote, and then in there between the quotes I will put button, and I'll put button small just to illustrate. And now we have an inline button right there. Don't like it, don't like the way it looks, but it's possible. So I just wanted you to see that. The way to clear that quickly is just to highlight it, Command on a Mac or Control K on a Windows, click that, and then just remove that and hit enter, and then you've cleared the link. Okay, or you could click this thing. So I guess one other thing to tell you about that's an option that you might be interested in is a thing called a button group. So button groups are placed inside of a wrapping div with a class of button group. And when it's expressed this way, they're just a cross. They can also, and they can be small as well. So the coloring, and we generally don't use the secondary success warning alert classes because we've kind of changed all those colors in our customizations. But one of the things I wanted to show you was the stacked. Let me see where that is. Stacking. So stacking is useful. I've used that. Here's an example of some code with the button group stacked. Okay, here's just this one is just stacked, so that's this first group, and they're just stacked one on top of another. And then if you know that your button group is you want it to be next to each other, say on a desktop machine, but you want it to be stacked on a mobile, you would use stacked for small with hyphens between the words. And then when I resize my browser window, you'll see that this next group of buttons becomes expanded, but it fills the width of the mobile screen. So this is a little bit on the intermediate side, but I figured since I'm talking about our button classes, you might be interested. All right, I hope this is helpful. Again, just contact me with any questions. Thank you.